Some watches tell time. This one tells a story. The Seiko SNXS79 J1. The bracelet rattles like loose change. The crystal scratches if you squint. But the dial, it pulls you in. And the lume, Seiko said, will skip the luxury, but will give you glow. This isn't a flex piece. It's a trap door. You don't just wear this watch, you fall for it. This is the Gateway Seiko. The Seiko 5 line first launched in 1963 with one promise: to deliver reliable, affordable, automatic watches built for everyday life. The 5 stood for 5 key features: automatic movement, day-date display, water resistance, a recessed crown, and a tough case and bracelet. Then in 1968, Seiko took it further with the Seiko 5 sports line, built for a more active lifestyle. These watches were bolder, more rugged, with better shock and water resistance and louder dial designs. For decades, they became the go-to watches for young collectors. Stylish, dependable, and surprisingly affordable. In 2019, Seiko revived the 5 Sports name with a new look inspired by the beloved SKX Diver, but kept the same mission: accessible automatic watches that punch above their weight. I contacted Seiko about when this watch was released, and they said it was produced from 2001. This particular one I have was specifically produced in February 2014. If you want to check when your Seiko was produced, you can go to retroseiko.co.uk, and using the serial number on the back of the watch as well as the movement number, you can find out when your Seiko was produced. The SNXS79 J1 comes in at 37mm diameter, 43mm lug to lug, and just 12mm thick. Slim enough to slide under a cuff, but bold enough to peek out like it knows it's good looking. It takes 19mm straps, which is Seiko's way of saying, let's make your life a little harder, but more rewarding. When you find a strap that fits, it's like destiny. The case is solid stainless steel, polished just enough to catch the light or catch someone's eye at the bar. The bezel, it's not part of the case. It's a separate fixed ring that sits on top like a crown, adding a little extra elevation. Protecting the dial is a flat Hardlex crystal. It's not sapphire, but it'll take a knock or two without crying. Flip it over and you've got a little surprise. An exhibition case back showing off the 7S26 movement doing its thing. No rotor flex, just honest, gritty, mechanical charm. Water resistance is 30 meters, so yes, it'll survive rain, hand washing, and maybe a very confident pasta boil, but it's not going diving anytime soon. The weight is 107 grams with the bracelet. Enough to remind you it's there, but not enough to call it a workout. And let's talk about the case shape itself. It's got this sleek, rounded silhouette with short, tucked-in lugs, and honestly, it kind of looks like a tiny spaceship. The smooth curves, the polished surfaces, the way the bezel rises up slightly. It's subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like a little vessel that landed on your wrist, ready to tell time and explore the galaxy. If the case is the ship, then the dial is the command center, and this one's the star of the show. The sunburst grey dial plays tricks with the light. Sometimes it's smoky silver, sometimes near black. It doesn't just tell time, it sets a mood. It's subtle, sophisticated, and a little mysterious. The applied indices aren't just polished, they're loomed. So are the hour and minute hands. Now the lume isn't going to light up a cave, but it's there when you need a quick glance in the dark. Just enough glow to get the job done without showing off. And let's talk about the Seiko 5 logo. Applied, raised, and gleaming. It's bold without being loud, and frankly I prefer it to the newer flat logo Seiko is using these days. This one has presence. Now one detail that really separates this version from others is that this is the J1, the Japan-made version. You'll notice it says 21 jewels just under the word automatic on the dial. A little extra detail you won't find on the K1 variant. And of course the real cherry on top, that made in Japan text at the 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock indices. It's subtle, but it gives the watch a little bit more heritage. And for me, that sealed the deal. Other than that, it's exactly the same watch as the K1. Same case, same movement, and same bracelet. But for collectors like me, those small touches make all the difference. The day-date window at the 3 o'clock is framed in silver and feels right at home on this layout. It's classic Seiko, functional, symmetrical, and unapologetically retro. Altogether, it's a dial that punches way above its weight. Clean, sharp, and quietly confident. It's the kind of dial you keep glancing at, even when you already know the time. The first time I saw the bracelet, I was not impressed. It reminded me of something straight out of a Casio A158 or A159. Thin, rattly, stamped metal, and it's not necessarily bad, but on this watch it just feels like it's punching below its weight. It's a 3-link folded bracelet with hollow end links, 19mm at the lugs, tapering down to a 16mm at the clasp. It's light and flexible, but also a little flimsy. The clasp, it's about as basic as they come, stamped metal and some micro adjustment holes. That said, here's where it gets complicated. It's comfortable, it doesn't pull my hairs, it wears light on the wrist, and it disappears when you're on the move. I've worn it quite a bit, but I'm definitely upgrading the bracelet. I've got my eye on a solid Jubilee bracelet from monsterwatches.eu. It fits the watch perfectly and goes for about 34 to 39 euros depending on the clasp option. It looks like the bracelet this watch should have come with. They've also got a solid oyster style bracelet if you want something a little sportier and more rugged. Either way, a strap upgrade takes this watch from almost there to oh yes. Inside this little spaceship beats the Seiko 7S26 movement with a 41-hour power reserve. And while it may not be the flashiest engine in the galaxy, it's earned its stripes. This is an automatic movement, no hand winding, no hacking, just pure rotor-powered motion. You move, it ticks. You sit too long, it naps. Now let's talk about accuracy. Officially it's rated at plus 45 to minus 20 seconds per day, but in practice most examples run tighter than that. Mine, it's been gaining 10 to 15 seconds a day, which is totally fine for a mechanical watch at this price point. You're not timing rocket launches, you're just showing up on time with style. But here's the thing, it's reliable, like ridiculously reliable. There are people out there who've worn Seiko 5s for 15 to 20 years straight without ever servicing them, and the watch keeps on going. It's the Toyota Corolla of watch movements. Not flashy, but basically unkillable. If it ever does give up on you, no stress. These movements are affordable that you could just replace it entirely instead of servicing it. That's actually something I'm considering. Picking up a spare 7S26 just to have in the drawer ready for the next decade. Let's talk about the crown. It's small, like where did it go small? And if you've got big fingers, it might test your patience at first. But the good news, you barely need it. Set the time and date once and the movement does the rest. I love that the crown is recessed into the case. It keeps the silhouette clean, doesn't dig into your wrist, and just makes the whole watch look smoother, like it's not trying to be anything other than quietly capable. For the modders and upgrade crowd, if you want a little more function like hacking and hand winding, you can always swap out the 7S26 for an NH36. It's pretty much a drop-in replacement and gives you modern features without losing that classic Seiko 5 feel. So yeah, whether you keep it original or plan ahead with the backup, this movement's got options. It's old school, but it's got range. The dial, it's the star of the show. That sunburst grey catches the light just right. The applied indices and Seiko 5 logo add depth, and the whole thing has a refined simplicity that punches way above its price. It's made in Japan. That matters. It's not just a stamp. It's a little nod to heritage, to quality, to pride in production. And if you've got that J1 version like I do, that made in Japan text just seals the deal. The size. 37mm is a sweet spot, especially for those of us who prefer something that doesn't wear like a dinner plate. It's classic, comfortable, and universally wearable. The movement. It's not fancy, but it's reliable and replaceable. It'll keep going for years, and if it doesn't, you can drop in a new one or even upgrade to an NH36 if you're feeling adventurous. The price. Honestly, for what you're getting, a mechanical, Japanese-made watch with personality, it's an absolute steal. This is the kind of piece that gets people into the hobby. It's not all sunshine and sunburst dials. The bracelet, it's functional, it's comfortable, but let's not pretend it's winning any awards. It feels cheap and kind of brings down the whole experience. The crown, it's tiny, and yes, it's recessed, which looks great, but it can be a bit fiddly if you're trying to set the time quickly. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a learning curve. No hand winding, no hacking. For the price, it's forgivable, but still worth pointing out. If you're used to winding up your watch and synchronizing it down to the second, the 7S26 might leave you feeling a little bit out of sync. Water resistance is minimal. 30 meters means it'll survive a splash or rainstorm, but don't even look at a swimming pool. This isn't your dive buddy. And finally, the accuracy. It's not bad, but it's not great either. You might gain or lose a few seconds a day, maybe more, depending on your watch. It's mechanical. It's part of the charm, but not for the perfectionist. So here's the thing, the Seiko SNXS79J1, this little spaceship of a watch, has officially become my favorite mechanical watch. It's comfortable, reliable, and that dial, I stared at more than I should. It's got this quiet magnetism that keeps pulling your eyes back in. A lot of people call it the poor man's Datejust, and sure, I get where they're coming from. It's got a similar silhouette. But here's the truth, this isn't a knockoff. It's not trying to be anything else. This is a Seiko with heritage, its own story, its own movement, its own charm. If you're just getting into watches, this piece is a perfect gateway. Trust me, the collecting bug bites hard after this, but honestly it could also be a one watch collection. It's that versatile. Dress it up, wear it casual, it always looks at home. Prices are rising, inventory is shrinking, and this model is discontinued. If you're considering getting one, this might be your moment. Me, I'm keeping mine for good. This isn't just a watch, it's a keeper. If you enjoyed this review, or you just love watching someone romanticize a 37mm piece of Japanese steel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you want to grab the SNXS79J1 for yourself, you can use the affiliate link down in the description. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps support the channel and lets me keep bringing you more of these wristwatch confessions. Thanks for watching.